Hello, my beautiful divine masculines. This is going to be a reading for you. If you resonate with the divine masculine energies, this is going to be a reading for you. So, my beautiful divine masculines, you are going through embracing the shadow of love. You're going through the cleansing of your soul because of your emotional intelligence. You're being brought into balance within your own masculine and feminine within, and you're able to finally receive this joy and stability that's here for you. So I will do a live shuffle just so we get some random ass cards. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all the cool stuff so the algorithm brings these messages to the people that need them. And as you can hear, a child is crying outside. So as the challenging times card turns around with the Five of Wands, you may be screaming for help, you may be crying to God, you may be just letting out a bunch of these emotions because you're cleansing your vessel from your past timelines, your past lives. A lot is coming together in this moment for you to get going again, be in motion. I just heard a car start and the train horn, which is confirmation for me that you are on the move. You started your machines up and now they're working because you're working from your pure masculinities. The solar plexus chakra comes out to show you that yes, you are the masculine here. Yellow is and gold is very important. You might be even putting some gold things around you, or maybe wear more gold jewelry or yellow color, or it's just going to be a helpful color to embrace your solar plexus even more. Because what is the solar plexus? It is it's the center between your heart and your feminine sacral center, right? So because we have the energies of your emotional intelligence as well as shadow love and soul cleansing, what I'm getting here is that you had to cleanse your heart space first, and then you had to cleanse your sacral space to be able to be brought into balance of your own assertiveness, of your own confidence, just you being, even if you're a woman watching this, it's about you being your own father, your own provider, your own assertion. Because when we read for divine masculine energy, we are already talking about the balance, right? We're already talking about somebody, you, the listener, resonating with this message. We're talking about somebody who has already done a lot of work. You, at least in theory, know your next steps because you want to be better each day. You want to elevate yourself every day. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the sacral chakra. So we're going to take that out because it is important. It was hard for you to just be a vessel of love, right? A loving being, because your groundedness was shaken. Something happened in your life, a big change, an emotional change, something that is connected between the heart and the base happened. So maybe you have gone through a breakup, a divorce, or separation, or moving. Something happened that changed your life completely and made you start to think about what divine masculinity truly is and what it means to you. And whilst you are researching yourself through your own mediums and social networking, you're also tapping into your intuition, right? Because to become a divine masculine, or to embody that energy, you also need to go through balancing out your femininity, which is the sacral chakra. And from the sacral chakra, not just life forms and is created, also a bunch of the ideas for, you know, creations like projects and work and art, everything that has the power of being created is generated inside the sacral chakra. And for a bunch of divine masculines, the hardest part was to balance that part, because maybe it was easier for you to be the provider, the caretaker of everybody, even if you're a woman watching this. And it really comes out as you have gained a lot of emotional intelligence because you had these challenging times. Of course, every time I start filming, doesn't matter the time, there's a bunch of things going on outside. I'm not gonna get mad about it, and I hope you don't as well. But I swear to God, it was dead silent before I started filming, and now it's just everybody. Yeah. The numbers 5 could be significant. You could be seeing 5-5 or 5-5-5 because you're going through an awakening. The repeating numbers usually happen because there are extra messages within them to help guide you back into balance, to reassure you of being on the right path. And you may not see all the opportunities just yet because of the challenging times. It was hard for you to see all of the possibilities that the world offers. So you could have had this closed-mindedness. Even if you are a very open-minded thinker, it could just be that your lessons, your challenging times were with simple-minded people, and you had to break free from those because you simply just want to love. And let's go on. Let's see. This is a general oracle. It's a bit spiritual, but it does have both. Well, it's a very general oracle for tarot readers, but it's not a general oracle. Let's see. We have the higher power and clean it up, and I think those were the only two that turned around. So God himself, itself, oneself, whatever, they, the source, the universe, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the higher power within you. And you see there's a keyhole on the forehead of this angelic force. And right between the heart and the solar plexus, there's another face. So what I'm getting here is that people that you cared and loved deeply have been stuck between these spaces, right? Your heart and your confidence. So the way you give and receive love, your most important center, where you come from and where you return to heal, was affected, and immensely. Something changed within your heart space to push these energies back into flow. So you could have been stuck in your head, unlocking, awakening, you know, having all these epiphany moments and eurekas, and you were just onto something. I'm also seeing this angel has like antlers, which is giving me again the elk spirit. I also have, we're going to get to the animal oracle by Kim Kranz, but the elk in that, I bet I'm gonna shit myself if it comes out, but the elk is literally the divine masculine representative of that deck. And this angel also has antlers. And what are antlers? They're an extension outside of your crown, right? So it depicts your connection to the ethers, your connection to the higher power. You have unlocked these. And also, as much as people have affected your heart space, this is actually also you being protected in your heart space. Your heart space is being protected by kind of like the angel is also like protect your throat. There's a big emphasis on your throat chakra, because you can see my voice is kind of raspy and I'm just I don't want to cough too much or anything, but I'm just, it's unboxing, right? Your throat is unboxing and it's being affected as well. So this is just an extra note here, like a side note for protection. We are lighting an incense called Emotions by Satya. These are all hand rolled, and I only buy hand rolled incense, and so should you. These are, I think, from Bangladesh or India, but it's we need a little bit of balancing of emotions, because I'm getting kind of angry and feisty and fiery and out of breath. So you could be just super excited and just in a move. You could be running, you could be exercising, you could be working a lot. Like I'm seeing a garden, I'm seeing shout out Johnny. I know you're watching this. I just saw his garden. But for everybody else, besides you know, the energies are sometimes potent because people that really listen to these readings, I pick up on people's energy when they comment, when they like, when they subscribe, and it's funny because I see images of people that have, you know, that are resonating. So leave a comment if I'm like depicting something that you like see, like a picture of it, or it's, I don't know. Tell me how this resonates. I would love to hear some of that type of feedback, guys and girls. So the spirit, higher power, God, they're showing you that your throat is being affected. You could have ascension symptoms like a sore throat that is trying to, you know, evolve into something, but you being so in tune with your emotions that you just know you need to rest, you need to speak less, you need to recover, maybe do some protection rituals that you like doing, or use some stones that will clear out your space, like selenite, or, well, I know you don't have Herkimer diamond at home, but you can also, like, you know, put it in your browser and look at the pictures. It's pretty much the same. Just find something, a crystal that is, a mineral that is visually appealing to you and that is blue, right? Throat chakra is blue. So surround yourself with blue stones as well, like Larimar, lapis lazuli, azurite, and labradorite I'm hearing, and as well, did I say Larimar? Larimar is also important for balancing, especially if you're a man. If you have a hard time coming into your, or keeping your creativity and your sensuality and your receptivity and just being in tune with the motions of the ocean, Larimar is a stone that is like purely for healing the divine feminine, but it will help your own flow to be in balance, because when we have too much masculine or too much feminine energy, it, you know, can get angry, or it can get, you know, too sensitive and cryy, and we want to bring our emotions into balance, right? We want to have that I didn't pull it out, but the opportunity beckons card, the Four of Cups that I saw, had a world, and you were standing, leaning, looking yonder, right, over a balcony, and the world had an infinity symbol that I didn't show to you, but it brought back into my, it was being brought back into my vision, because it's important, because you are infinitely protected. You have the higher power that is asking you to clean it up. So there's a point in your life happening right now where you're going from kind of like the number 3, which is co-creating with spirit, to number 4, which is regaining your stability, your structure, your power in these structures that you create. And those are quite important for the divine masculine energy, because without structure and assertiveness for having all these corner towers covered and protected, right? Because we are protecting the hearth of the house, we are protecting the heart of our vessel, like the center of what we're protecting is very important. And what we're protecting here is our expression, our assertion, our ability to love unconditionally, and as well our reproductive ways of engaging, right? I'm getting these pictures of sorry, people, yeah, it could be handling certain feminine energies, especially if you're a man watching this, right? So if you're a man watching this, resonating with divine masculine energy, I'm seeing that you are around the same type of women because it was your karma. And each time these women shake your base chakra, because all you want to do is have that unconditional love. You could also be a father, or want to be a father, or want to teach children, or are very protective over children and the wisdom and knowledge that the children need instead of what they're being taught at school. And your base chakra is being swayed by people that are stuck in illusion and control. So I'm seeing people being, naked and engaging in activities together, but in these activities, a lot of shadow and stress and entities are being transmitted. 1717 on the timer, very important number for you. A confirmation if you have been seeing or will see 1717. Yeah, you're going towards your treasure island. This, of course, first of all, you are the treasure. But with the number 9, you're closing out this specific karmic cycle, which is bringing yourself into balance with or without these people, situations, environments, feelings of the past. And because you are the treasure, you are also being carried by this turtle. And turtles are, they represent the earth and water element, which both are feminine. And because you have balanced your femininity and your masculinity, you have become a divine masculine. You are able to embody the energy, right? Because you have mastered the feminine elementals, you are in tune with your emotions, as well as you regained your stability back. So you could have went through an unstable period of life, but in this season you are already like 10 steps in, co-creating with spirit, having that stability back, getting new opportunities. Even like with the opportunity back, it's like I really need to pull that card out. I'm sad I didn't take it because it's a good representation of your energy, really. So the 4 of Cups naturally represents, funny how now the bottom energy is love with the Lovers, with the 6. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, or you could be a Gemini, but the 4 of Cups is usually that imagery of somebody apathetic to the point, or discontent to a point where you cannot really see what the universe or the higher power is giving you, right? And you're turned away, and your upper body is naked, which means everything solar plexus and up, which are usually more ethereal energies, or a bit more, you need more divine feminine energy to reach some sort of higher state. So what I'm getting here is, no matter the gender, no matter the however you resonate with this, it's more about the fact that wherever you came from emotionally, I'm getting like a stuck bubble of air here, and it just turned around and it turned into pain. I had to kind of burp, but not that I don't want to, because these are all energetic releases. It happens the same in electrotherapy if you ever had it. If you never had it, you should try it. It's, I think, the best way to realign your chakras without anything. It's, yeah. So there's an unlocking. It could be that you are focusing on your diet, or your hunger for life is getting bigger. It's just this alignment that is happening because you have accessed and been naked before the stars, before God, and you realigned. You have looked outside of yourself and stopped pointing fingers at other people. Because in essence, you realize that you are a being of love, and to be a being of love, we need to be loving towards ourselves. And to truly love ourselves, we need to sometimes set certain boundaries, or take certain opportunities, say yes when we used to say no, or say no when we used to say yes, because it's healthy. Let's move on. So yeah, another, I didn't even notice, but the cleanup has another elk. So that is pure divine masculine energy. You are doing the cleanup. You're standing on a rock, right? You're standing on your solid foundation, your stability. And there's in these cards, there's always spirit hidden somewhere. There's always a face, right? There's always an ancestor that is attached to something, or something like that. 2222 on the timer. And here on the elk, it's literally on his tummy, like on his side, which is probably where his solar plexus is. Crows confirmed. So masculines, you have so many confirmations of solar plexus chakra, and here you're being protective of your heart, your solar, and your, well, not so much sacral actually. So that could be something that is more of like an advice to abstain from sharing your creative energy, your sacral energy, in a bedroom type of way. This is an animal oracle. One did turn over. And it was the chameleon. Okay, with a number 14, which is a 5. So you are changing colors. You could have been in an environment where you adapted and that environment flushed out your colors. Now you are back in your color because you are back in your true environment. 2, 3, 4, 5 could be also significant. And he says, act as if. Let's see what else. Yeah, you really are tapped into your divine feminine energy, because I was being pointed visually to the rose. So you are an alien for sure. Whoever you are, you have laid a solid foundation with the beaver spirit and number 6, which is aligning with the Lover's card. So 66 could also be a synchronicity for you. But we got a deer spirit. Bring a gentle touch with the number 18, which is a 9. So, you know, we have now both the depictions of the elk and the deer, which is divine masculine and divine feminine. And that is the balance within you, but also for a portion of the collective, not for everybody. It's okay, two messages. One is you might be cleaning up your sacral chakra because your emotional intelligence has awakened, and you're clearing out these deer, right? These feminines that are after your stability, after what you have or what you can generate, after your creativity. Because it's not always men that are like, you know, dark magicians and sexually, you know, demonic in a way where they would harness your power, your womb power. It also happens to males, right? There are women that attach to males and shake their worlds up, making them think they have to, you know, the deer says, bring a gentle touch. And what I'm getting here is like, there were women around you that almost like forced you to be gentle towards them, where they could do whatever the fuck they wanted in drama, right? Like, it's always me, my emotions. Like, it was so easy for you to forget yourself in certain past relationships. And even if you're now in one of those relationships where you are being like emotionally awakened, like, this is not my destiny, this is not what my happiness looks like, because I'm used to settling, but I will not be settling no more, because I, the divine masculine, have come into balance and am able to see things now for what they are. I can see that I am the one repeating the cycle, and I can see that I'm also part of the equation when it comes to creating said problem, which is just self-realization, and that's good. Second message is that you do need to bring a gentle touch, my divine masculines. If you're still a bit more on the angry side, because my nose keeps itching from time to time, and that is my confirmation that somebody listening to this has certain, for the lack of a better term, anger issues to still process. And I'm the same. I have a lot of anger issues. Trust me, guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm the divine masculine more than a divine feminine, but 27. Sometimes we also need to bring that gentle touch back to ourselves and to really come back into our protection of the sacral space. So your visualizations and your dreaming and your protection and strength surrounding you your visualizations are very, very potent right now. So when you act as if, I'm speaking of when you are pretending for the sake of keeping peace, you're actually manifesting more of that, right? So to bring that back, we need some sort of soul cleansing. We need to step away, be alone to think. And sometimes when we cannot get peace in our environments, we start resenting people. And we don't want to be resentful of people. I was being guided to take this card out. Yeah, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And this can go with trauma bonding or actual bonding, right? So when we are getting to know people, we're getting into our heart space, right? Because if you are resonating with divine energy, you're not here to take people's creative powers, right? You're here to actually get to know a person. And as you learn about these people that have entered your life just recently, you're also learning more about yourself, even if that's a karma cycle, at least you recognize it. It's a karmic cycle, and you can coordinate yourself within it. And you can transmute it into dharma, because these people are showing you exactly what you couldn't deal with in the past. But as well as it's the same entity following you around, if you can stare the entity into the soul, down the throat, if it has a soul, right? It gets sometimes personal, and we can forget, coming from the solar plexus, from the, pure masculine energy, which is not regulated or balanced with feminine energy, we can be very hurtful, because the feminines, even if you're dealing with a karmic feminine, they are gentle and intuitive creatures. They just have different lessons. And what I'm getting here is that because you are able to detach from repeating a cycle unknowingly, you're able to also unravel certain patterns that you maybe overlooked, or I don't know. Let's get some more. Because you are ascending to a higher level, like within, you're also noticing how certain energies don't really fit into your environment anymore, because your soul is cleaning up, and cleaning up is actually a representation of cleaning up your energetic space as well as your physical space, because everything is vibrating matter, right? Everything is energy. It's just the way we interpret it and how into what we incarnate in, right? So we're different male to female. We have different ways of processing. We have different ways of intake and output, and it has to be noted, right? It has to be discovered. It has to be on a personal level, right? My emotions don't have much to do with the people I'm emotional about. But when I'm emotional about these people, I pull on their energy, right? And pulling on people's energy disturbs the field of the quantum field of manifestation. And on the bottom of the deck, I haven't turned this card over, but this is the overall energy. It's reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life, says on the card, but it's about you sticking together. That's literally what I saw. Sticking together all of your dimensions into this one and creating a reality, like an actual reality that you want to live. Because you're reconciling with these inner parts of yourself. You're reconciling with the inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine, and you're trying to bring them into a flow, an infinite flow, right? Because you are a being of the source. Express your love. There's so much going on about expressing love. I don't know who this is for, but there's somebody in your field of consciousness, whether it be physically or energetically, but somebody is really longing and wishing, and there's just this energy that has overflown my solar plexus now and filled me up. Like I almost, if I hadn't had clothes on, you would see it almost kind of bloated on top of my navel. Like you can breathe into the top part of your belly or the bottom parts. So this is the top part of the belly, but not the lungs, right? So kind of inflated. And what I'm getting is, if you are actually a woman watching this, there's something about pregnancy or a big idea, like something that you are going to dream about, or like eureka, like there's something big growing inside of you. But this is a reading for my males, divine masculines, or my gay divine masculines, right? So, just take it as it resonates. This is a timeless and limitless reading, but the energy that I felt before this weird sensation happened was you're almost sick to your stomach for the love of your life, whoever you are. Like there's something within you that is just, you are a lover boy, lover girl, right? You're a lover. You have the archetype of the one that is here to serve from love. And yeah, confirmation. There's a message about self-concern of you either holding your inner divine feminine or an external person. And I'm getting, like, for a part of the collective watching this, it's going to be you in the energy of trying to remove this hand from this lady, right? While you're still holding her. It's like setting some sort of boundaries. Whereas for the other part of the collective, it's you are really you're really, somebody's name could be Willie or William. You're really like a romantic, like an incarnation of Romeo, because I was hearing William Shakespeare, because this card is very William Shakespeare to me. But it's like your environment is so dull to you, but this person balances you out. Because if we look at the coloring, the guy is wearing red and yellow or gold, which is masculine, right? And then the woman, she's wearing blue and green, which remind me of earth and water. It's like they have, balanced elementals between them. So there's some sort of hesitation in accepting somebody's love at face value, because you almost had to go through too many challenging times to finally find a person that matches you. But there's a hesitation, like you want to hold this person and at the same time remove her hand from reaching around your shoulders, which, it can weigh down a person or affect communications, or just getting into somebody's face might be too much for some people, right? So there could be somebody here watching that really wants to hug a person and bring them close and smell them and feel them and just experience them in that primal reconciliation energy. It's like, getting to know each other, expressing love. It's like there's this energetic exchange going on between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, where you just want to, there's somebody that you're super giddy about, and there's something stopping you in expression, because it's either that this woman has friends that are guarding her, because see, like, this is like the friend of the woman that he's trying to, like, get with. And this woman, she knows her worth, she knows who she is. Like, she's like, try to impress me more. And he's like sitting up as straight as possible, like he could be the definition of a 90-degree angle, right? Kind of, one of his legs is kind of dipped, so he's almost like surrendering or kneeling in his body language in front of the divine feminine, acknowledging her royalty and her beauty and, you know, her divinity. But her friend is also protecting her. She's like assessing everything that this guy is saying. She's like, I'm gonna protect my friend's womb, because none of these, and probably you as well, like, you don't deserve her creativity. You don't deserve the legacy that she's able to create, because, you know, the woman that you're observing, my masculines, you are definitely in awe. Like, you have this past life remembrance. This could be a new person that has recently entered your life, but definitely the cherubims on top are so cute. There's these cute little chubby cheeked angels. So it's like, if you don't have children, or even if you do, even if you're a father already, or a mother, whatever, even if you already have children, like, they're spirit children waiting to be incarnated, but only through the correct and balanced love, where a person balances you out, where you can be in your divine masculine and she can be in her divine feminine. And when you are apart, you are both balanced within this androgynous yin yang form of, you know, Shiva and Shakti. Like, it's these pillars of consciousness within you that the people that have shaken, the people that have put you through challenging times could never, right? They could never. But this person, you're like concerned, you're like worrying to let her go. So you might want to keep her as a friend, and keep certain boundaries up. But also, like, her angels and her ancestors and her friends are very powerful, and it makes you sit up straight. It makes you polish your look, or, you know, enhance your daily routines. It's just this energy that comes in where, you know, you meet a soul that you've known from a past life, and it brings remembrance into your vessel, and it shakes up your whole world, right? It feels as though, as you strengthen the bonds and embrace somebody, or try to embrace, even in thought, like, even if you're just daydreaming, right? You're a lover. And we have 9-9. Dreams coming true and darkest fears. This is a timeline between which you sit. Whoever resonates with the message of what we were just speaking. So this is a whole nother energy coming into this reading, because your darkest fears are coming from those challenging times, are coming from your internal solar and lunar eclipses, right? And what are solar and lunar eclipses when I'm speaking of them internally? When the feminine or the masculine energies align in a way with the earth, with the groundedness, with the stability, with the iron core, the Gaia, Mother Nature, right? When energies align in a cosmological way, right? Scientifically, planets, you know, they form. But when it comes to an internal eclipse, total eclipse of my heart, is, you know, sometimes your masculine or your feminine, or rather the shadow of the earth, the karma, it overshadows either your divine feminine or your divine masculinity, right? And fear is a construct of this 3D reality, right? Fear is about survival. It's about the base chakra. Fear is stored in hips. It's stored in your legs. It's stored in your butt. Like, a lot of stress, if you just ask your friends for a butt massage, like, or go to a massage parlor, because, like, the stress it's not just on the shoulders, it's mostly in the hip area. And it's just a sidebar that certain groundedness needs to happen physically to bring all of these elementals and energies into like a true masculine feminine balance, a true yin yang, right? So as we have yelled or cried out what we wanted to, and talked about it and evolved and researched and, you know, pondered, and everything that you have gone through was to be able to have all these dreams come true, but most importantly, have the universe in your hands. Because you understanding, well, you comprehending that you are the sole creator of your reality, and that God is within you, as is, you know, around you at all times, you're able to rather focus on the infinite creation of opportunities, you know, than the opportunity of your worst nightmares coming true. But it's about getting to know each other and expressing your love. Because when you express from your heart space with pure intention, pure unconditional love, which means I love you under zero conditions. I will not, you know, put a certain term on our relationship, like if you don't do this, I'm gonna don't do that, right? No, it's like I choose every day to be a loving person, to be a happy person, to be a joyful person, because I am chasing love, well, not chasing, attracting love, magnetizing love through all these timelines. And even though people might not understand what you're going through, the person that you are hesitant about is, well, wow. The person that you are hesitant about, if you are hesitant about a person, they have so much love for you, and they look at you almost like it's like wrong person, right person, wrong time. And it feels like the world is only in color when you two are in contact, but it hurts to be in contact because there's hesitation, there's tests, there's karma, there's cycles to be closed out. And the more you reveal these challenging times that were in your past, the more this person is thinking about pulling you even closer, because they have this internal will. Because if you're watching this, you have this huge internal will, but place yourself wherever you fit. But somebody here has an immense will to make things right this lifetime, to truly be that divine masculine, embodied and alive. And to be that, you need to have that counterbalance of divine femininity, which is probably outside of yourself and something that you have been looking for and longing for. And it's just this energetic imprint, this memory of coming, you know, being protective over a very specific person, and also holding them tightly, not letting them go, maybe even pulling them even closer, just for them to not have more fear of you, you know. This is heavy, guys. It's like this picture, you know, how this woman is looking. She's like, as if like you're not, I'm way above you. And this man is, you know, trying to be his most presentable self, but that's just on the outside. I'm feeling like this is very 3D, how it looks on the outside, or how you might be going through certain banter, like you know, I would never date a two-timing man, right? But I'm like what need does she have for you, really? And it makes you kind of, you know, perk up into like, I'm a very gentlemanly woman, I come from a long line of legacy and I am very important. And she's like, as if, you know. And her friend is like, I will protect my bitch forever, like just try us. And then angels are like throwing gang signs at you as well. And it's just like, I'm getting like this almost kind of like a 3D mockery of your emotions, which are very intense. This is how you want to be. You want to be cloaking somebody in your protection. But there's concern on both of these people's faces, actually, because right person, wrong time. It can bring up fear, but we are collective. We don't fear shit here on this channel. Fear is just a word because we don't have another one for it. But it's not an emotion that we like to keep within, right? Our solar plexus, our sacral chakra is well balanced. You're returning back to your heart. Greenery could be very important to you when it comes to healing. So I'm getting nature and just forests, just greenery, nothing, not, you know, not even a, no, I'm getting like imagery of no signs of humans, right? Just wandering off into somewhere where there's no signal, and just being around the color green. It does something so healing to your body, divine masculines. We got the dragon, guys. This is literally the solar plexus chakra. This is you guys. The dragon has awakened. But look at the bottom of the deck. It's unconditionally loving otter. And I'm getting James Bond with this. You know those old James Bond movies where it was like through a tunnel? You're like, you could totally be in a Bond movie because you're like super hot, but you're this cute little otter, just like, I just wanna, you know, hold hands and float on water with my baby. Like, you're just such an emotional creature. That's why maybe we got some, you know, a lot of divine feminine energy, because you have balanced, you are balanced, you have broke generational curses, you have brought yourself back into balance, you have walked from the start to finish of the tightrope of trying not to be like my mom, trying not to be like my dad, and you have made it to the other side. That's what I just saw. And we have the dolphin coming out, and it came out in reverse, but we're not taking it because dolphin, no matter how you turned it, it's a happy, happy card. He's just so happy. And you're gonna be so happy because the more you know, travel and traverse your emotional waters, you are being in tune with your divine femininity inside yourself. And the more you are joyous and laughing and creating from your solar plexus, like ha ha ha, you know, it strengthens your energetic navel, right? It strengthens the solar plexus. And it's very important to keep cleansing, to keep strengthening, to keep spiritual spine aligned, because you feel everything on water, right? They both have this circular imagery, right? And the dolphins, they communicate on this sonar level, right? They communicate with frequency. So you could also be the type of person that responds in frequency, meaning you either react or respond to people's bullshit because of their frequency, and you have a good radar for frequency, or I swear to God, if I could update my RAM for channeling, I would. It literally just deleted everything out of my headspace. I'm getting tension from my third eye up. This is a very hollow sound. Yeah, now the frequency just went into my right side of my brain when I tapped it a bit more, just to see what's going on, because I too resonate with the you know, we're all kind of stuck in the ether on these radio frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies. We're all our hearts, no matter the gender or what you resonate with, we all have a frequency coming off of our heart chakra, right? It's this electromagnetic field that each vessel creates. And you could be a musician, or making music, or just music cleanses your emotions. It's a very powerful tool to come back into your waters, because these two triangles turned upside down are representative of the water element, and the water element is very important for you. You probably have something within your natal chart. For instance, I have a Mercury in Pisces, which is a water sign, and Mercury is about communications, and I used to have problems with communicating because I would get so emotional because I was so unprocessed. And a lot has to do with, you know, throat chakra, heart chakra, and having the confidence. Like, these three centers are quite important in, you know, being stable in the center that is the most important, which is the heart, which is also where unconditional love comes from. You have such a strong divine masculine column. I'm seeing like a pillar, a golden pillar of light that is like a base. It just turned into like a sigil. It went from, like, sorry for the phallic visuals, but it went from, you know, being a column of light, very, you know, tall and bright, golden, like white light in the middle and golden on the side. And I don't know if I saw it from the top or what, but it started looking like it pressed together into like a podium that is multi, like, I don't know, octagonal at least, or multi, you know, faceted. And I looked on it in my vision, and it kind of looked like, you know, the Metatron, you know, the circles with the alignments, but looked more like a final boss in game, you know, when you come somewhere and there's just like this, okay, I know this is the room, this is where we fight the final boss. But I didn't see no boss. Like, it was just you collapsing into a sigil from this column, and it turned into this solid structure that now reminds me of the coloring and the material of what this elk is standing on. So, whoa, I just swayed, my vision swayed physically. This is wild. This is a wild reading. you are standing, you have prepared your own stage, but it's a very magical stage because you work from love, from the stability of your pillar of light, which is, you know, going through, connecting you to the iron core and to the source, but it compressed together, right? It almost, it's the pressure that you went through that created all of this magic that is now within you. And now what I'm getting is, you know how diamonds are made? They're made under immense pressure and heat, but there are just, you know, well, they're not just, it's carbon and it's very important. And certain challenging times in our lives are character development, building, and, you know, breaking curses and cycles of karma, and certain compressions of light pillars, or you as a conduit of source, can in fact give this energy of, you know, rock that doesn't look shiny on the outside. But the sigil on it was so complex because each thing that pushed down this column to the form that I saw was also, it also looked like, I don't know how to explain it, but imagine a lightsaber from Star Wars before it's out. It's like, you know, it's almost like the, sorry, this is getting quite phallic, guys. So imagine this is a lightsaber, right? This part, it's like as if this was your column that was collapsed, and all I saw was like this much, and it looked like a podium with a sigil on top, right? So on top of the sigil was like an intricate connection of circles and lines, like, you know, everything is connected. It's like as if you put, I don't know, many sigils one over the other, and it has this intricate magical connection. However, we did get the final boss. Like, I think you're the final boss, but you could be, guys. But what I was getting is, it's not that the tower of your column of light has collapsed. It's the fact that the lightsaber has retreated, right? That the light of the column has been affected to a point where it had to come down to kind of, on a quantum level, tinker with the sigil. So when we do turn on, when you do turn on, the light column is going to be unshakable light, pure. So I was getting with the lightsaber analogy is that it's waiting for you to press the button. It's waiting for you to turn around and acknowledge certain things, and also release your biggest fears, because well, okay, just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is called insanity. Somebody needed to hear that. Sorry for the rest, but you are this lightsaber podium, final boss room of compressed energy. It's like you have taken your light and used so much power and force to bring it back down to the foundation, right? Base chakra, your foundation. And now, because you have used so much power, you literally created a diamond podium on which you confidently stand upon, on which you unconditionally love, and on which you infinitely connect to joyous frequencies. But there's something that needs to be vocalized, expressed, because I was getting a tension in my throat. Like you may be even a bit too much in the water, because I was getting like, you know, when you are in water up to here, like up to your neck, it creates a certain pressure, right, on the chest physically. And when we are in emotion, it also creates, you know, anxiety or depression, and, you know, the fears of, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda, or what if. And we are canceling, we're negating, and we're cleansing those energies out, because you, my divine masculines, are here to be happy, here for your dreams to come true, especially if that is standing on stages, right? You could be a motivational speaker, you could be a performer, or, you know, do music, or just, there's certain confidence that is unshakable forever because of the suppression you have made. And maybe it looked like depression for a while, but you knew you were going to come out on the other side, full force, diamond aura. And also your aura is multicolored. So if you can imagine how diamonds are when they're cut, imagine each facet shining a different color. That's your aura. Now make it an orb. Meditate on it, guys. I wanted to pull out some tarot cards, but I won't. I'm just getting a side note of watch out for cunning people, listen to your intuition. And yeah, coming back to basics is usually coming back to the nature, back to elementals, back to water, fire, wind, and earth, as well as ether, which is, you know, it came out with the circle and the solar plexus chakra. So I already know that you are on the other side. Let's do just one shadow card. Okay. The shadow card for you guys is the Ten of Swords. This is a very metal deck. I love this deck. The shadow that shows up for you is fear. Your darkest fear may be betraying people, or leaving people behind, or closing out cycles. So that's why you're inquiring, yeah? You have these strong emotions, and you don't want to be put other people in third parties or generate more karma. It's just you're deathly afraid of betraying people because of your unconditional heart. Like, your heart is so pure and so big that you will consider, you will think about it, but you would never actively betray. And that is also something that helps you to not see the opportunities, right? Because it's not always as strong as the energy of betrayal, right? Like Ten of Swords, stabbed in the back 10 times, laying on the floor bleeding. It's not always like that, but usually what we're not afraid of is betraying ourselves. And if your heart is somewhere else, you are already betraying yourself, because the King of Pentacles came out in reverse, but it's a very sexual visual. and this one as well, but we do have the Justice on the bottom of the deck because, yeah, the Fool. So many naked people on this in this deck. But these are the shadows. These are the demons, that the entities that are trying to help you not live the life that you are meant to live, which is unconditional love, joyous every day, being in the positive frequencies, like singing like the birds, just going through your day not caring. And I saw 1 hour and 10:10. So 10:10, right? The cycles need to be closed so a new one can start. Otherwise, we're just creating more karma. We're creating third parties. We're creating leverage, or we're creating revenge or envy or betrayal and stuff. But what we are not creating by not changing is not elevating into the King of Pentacles, because he came out in reverse next to the Justice and the Fool. It's like, of course, I mean, Justice representative of the divine scales of karmic balance, and the Fool representing fresh energy, new cycle, having that happy-go-lucky energy to, you know, be in your own, in your colors, and be in the expression of love, which is what your heart actually wants. But because well, somebody is like, I'm getting like Beauty and the Beast with one of these depictions, but I can't show you because all of them are showing titties. And she's like holding, well, she's she's holding a massive sword, 11144 on the timer. She's holding a massive sword, but the demon above her, you can see, is, I can cover her with one of my fingers, but he's like 4 of my fingers. So the demons and the entities are usually, the fears and anxieties are usually bigger in us, bigger than, well, yeah, bigger in us. Whoa. Yeah, they're like bigger than us in a way where, you know, the more power we give to negative energies and being stuck in these karmic cycles and loops and betraying ourselves, we're also betraying our abundance. But divine masculines, you're the one holding the demon as well as the sword. But that's something that you need to realize, is that you are not betraying. You can never betray another person more than you can betray yourself, staying in a situation where maybe resentment grows, or needs aren't being met, or, you know, the relationship is 20-80 or 30-70. And as much as you are eyeing what could it be like, a lot of these people who are in your life because they're mirroring something within you. However, as much as they were good for your past timeline, your new timeline doesn't feel like it includes them, because I feel like somebody here resonating with this message anywhere in the future from when I post this is actually looking for information how to keep somebody around and not affect another person that is in their life, while also not creating a third party. And what happens is that you may become trapped within your own illusion that that's possible, because what will create from it is just you being stuck in imagination and actually not creating the abundance with the person that you are maybe currently with, or trying to get away from, or not even trying to get away from, because she can tame your beasts inside. Like, you're good, or I don't know. It's just this fantasy that keeps returning me back to the concerned expression of this masculine in the card that just really wants to hold his divine feminine. Whether it be like you holding yourself within your heart space, within your sacral space, being, you know, in flow, or it could, but for 80% of you, or at least the energy is so strong that I would say like it's overpowering in 80%, is you have a fantasy to show somebody that they tame your demons and they bring up a lot of sensual and creative powers, and they are like your muse, and you just want to show them how beautiful they are, because this demon here is showing this woman her reflection, but it's the demon holding up the mirror, right? So it can go both ways, because sometimes it's just not, it's not okay to, it's never okay to be put or to be in third parties, because then somebody always longs for something that they can't have, and that is not a vibration from which we create positive manifestations. We create more karmic cycles. And what's happening here, because I took out 6 cards, which represents the lovers, but in a shadow way. Here we have the Emperor, which is you, Divine Masculine. 4 of Pentacles, which is, well, the stability of your power, but also you keeping yourself away from your emotional fulfillment, your happy place in your family, like your actual soul family. But there's just a bunch of inspiration going on. You might just be considering something or pondering these ideas, and you're just fantasizing, and I'm picking up on your energy. But there's definitely a universal truth that you have uncovered here, because at least you learned that what happens is self-betrayal rather than betraying others, right? Living in longing for another situation. That's desperate, isn't it? That's kind of simp. I'm not calling you a simp, Divine Masculines, but I did cut the deck on the 9 of Pentacles, which is you on your own. Doesn't matter if you're currently in a relationship or not, but you on your own are self-sufficient. You don't really need a partner or a counterpart. So what you're discovering here is who adds and doesn't project, like who reflects but doesn't, you know, mirror back projections. And you may have stumbled across a person that feels like a twin flame, and that's why you are like, you know, unwilling to turn around or to do a 180 rather, because you have fears. But you also have a total eclipse of your heart. So let's just finish up this reading with some light tarot. Oh my god. Wow. The 3 of Swords fell on the floor in reverse, and the other 2 overturned, but I guess this is 2 cards. And it's the 7 of Coins, or 7 of Pentacles, which is usually patience and, you know, waiting for your seeds to grow, right? But it was in reverse. So you could be impatient to heal your heart, because the 3 of Swords in reverse is kind of like the aftermath of breaking a heart. But because I almost got the energy of the Knight of Swords and just like this rush, like I want to already be on a different timeline. Like you want to like quantum leap or something. You want to leap into your happiness. You want to leap into the unconditional love. You want to live your life how you truly want to, which is very happy, joyful, peaceful, loving, just bathing in milk and honey every day, right? Six of Swords and two more. So let's talk about the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is transitioning from, in your mental region, right? The sword is air, it's thoughts and information and words. So it's moving into, usually it's moving into calmer waters, but this one seems like an initiation into water. And what was water? It was happy and unconditional love. And Six of Swords is like usually depicted where a guy just like packs up his family and we're going to go from this side or like this island where it has like horrible waves and we cannot bathe our children, you know, in the ocean. I mean, they cannot, you know, dip in the sea because it's dangerous. Like, you're going from a dangerous mental environment into calmer waters. You're moving, you're setting sail and you're putting in work, because this Divine Masculine in this deck is holding both of Rose, I guess. I don't know. Is it? Whereas the feminine is wrapped in, I don't know, probably a towel or a cape that is multicolored. And he's, again, topless, which reminds me of this topless guy, right? And this is kind of on the other side of after you know, heal heartbreak or come back into your heart space and temper your impatience about, you know, it's like you need to come back down to earth a little bit almost, guys. You need to ground yourself. But there is an island that you're going towards, and these Six Swords were an initiation onto your journey. So we do have the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. And this, I did turn them around and they were upside down, but I'm getting that your mental is more upright than in reverse. You are definitely confused about what to do and how to go about it. And Knight of Pentacles is also, it's like Virgo energy. It's very careful, slow moving, taking in the views. Even the horse takes in the views sometimes with the Knight of Pentacles. But this knight doesn't even have a horse. He's in his garden observing his golden pentacle, which is an opportunity, right? It's something you have been given from God himself that just like cut through your, you know, down the middle, separated your own inner divine feminine and masculine, and you had to like come back into yourself and be like, oh wait, I actually need to go through this because I am betraying who I am. I've been naked in front of God with my heart, with my expression, with my thinking, with my connection to ethers, and I'm not getting these two cards that they wanted to come out in reverse, because your mind is so well structured. You are a very strong thinker, very logical thinker. You're very observant as well. But right now, you're so cute. You're observing this golden opportunity that you have in your hands, but if you don't take it, well, if you take it, it feels like betraying something else or somebody else. But if you don't take it, it feels like betraying yourself. Yeah. there's the horse. The lady has a horse. She has a pony. Shout out to Johnny. He has cool ponies at home if you're watching this. Say hi to your ponies and to Michica. But divine masculines, the divine feminines in your life that enter and give you remembrance in your soul, they could also be, you know, playing on your frequency, because this, I'm getting like Radha energy, like from Krishna, and she's just so devoted. Like, she just loves to, you know, fangirl over her mans when he plays the flute. But this is a Celtic deck. This has nothing to do with Krishna. But there are these minerals falling about, turquoise colored, and I wanted to speak on turquoise color, but we had something else to channel when I was speaking of the throat and the heart being, you know, connected. It comes to this mid-range of chakras, like between space, that is, you know, heart is green, throat is blue, and turquoise helps you, or aquamarine helps you express yourself unconditionally, which is, you know, bhakti, it's devotion. And devotion shows up in different ways. It shows up in, you know, dancing, singing, speaking, creating, drawing, you know, painting, building, whatever, right? The nurture of yourself happens when you go through a crown awakening, when you reconnect to source. There's a bunch of these purple butterflies around here, which of course represent transformation. However, the lady is, well, let's say you don't have the greatest boundaries, or you have to set up boundaries if you're feeling like you're betraying somebody, whether it be another person or yourself. Because on the bottom of the deck, and yeah, they're all mixed, but it came out in reverse. So there's a sense of boundaries being needed here in this situation, but you also have to come to certain own conclusions in alone time, and, you know, talk to God, talk to yourself. Yeah, communication. Talk to the spirits, right? Talk to God. Ask for confirmation, because if you feel like you're overstepping boundaries that are yours, you're also betraying yourself, right? If you're wanting to impress another, yet you are overstepping something that is you know, representative of you, you're also overstepping your own boundaries, betraying yourself, backstabbing yourself, and creating karma through it. So rather than that, set up boundaries, see where people fall, and see where your heart leads you to, you know, because the heart wants what the heart wants, and it is the center of all centers in a human vessel, right? And in the spiritual chakra system column. And because you are collapsing, you are collapsing your column to upgrade these special light diamond multicolored features, because you have collapsed a column of the solar plexus. And now you're rising in all colors of the human spectrum. And even beyond that, you're even rising in structures, in lattices, in filaments, in voids, in, you know, quantum physics, really. But on a 3D level, there's something creating instability, because your mind is kind of torn in two, and it is affecting, because we, as a shadow, we got the King of Pentacles in reverse, and as a light we got the Knight of Pentacles upright, which is there could be somebody that is smothering you, or it could just be that these, especially if you're an earth sign or have earth prominent in your chart, or air, but especially for earth, it's like you want to be abundant, self-sufficient, a provider on so many levels, right? The coins represent different types of abundance. Well, you are here. You're here observing this golden opportunity that if you take the opportunity, it will grow you into a King of Pentacles, which is somebody that is above and beyond the material plane. Nothing can be missing or will be missing if you follow, you know, your heart. There's a surfacing that needs to happen within the throat, but it comes from this heart space. You're ready to go. You're ready to explode. You're ready to collapse. All systems fall. It's definitely kind of chaos energy for some reason. I'm thinking of somebody right now, but I don't want to be too much of a predicty wicty, you know. I'm just getting such a weird energy right now. Ace of Cups, Eight of Swords, Four of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely in need of reassessment of self-imposed prisons, especially when it comes to your mental, and how much does your overthinking keep you away from your self-love and emotional stability? Because I'm getting that I'm getting chaos, because I'm getting like yes, no, yes, no. It's like Ace of Cups, like soulmate, like new love, self-love, just here you go, universe said. And it's like, I can't. And then it's like, but it's your soul family, divine masculine. Just, it's like your besties, like you're just, you know, connecting to ethers together. And then it's like, oh, but I have to like walk away from this thing, this other thing, which I'm like kind of emotionally discontent in. But I really want to rush forward. But sorry, it's a fit, it's an entity, but I'm kind of like stuck in my head because I'm just like, I don't know, like I don't know, but I crave transformation. I crave to end the cycle. I feel it in my bones even. But I have internal conflict about it. I don't know, is it, what is my passion? Is it this? Is it that? The source said yes. I gave you another ace to confirm that this is your passion. This is your stage. And you want to rush out into the world. But you're so afraid of the steps, the necessary steps it takes, and who will suffer as you move up the mountain, right? So it's like you can either suffer your own mountain of swords, being stuck in your head like what if, or you can climb the 3D, climb your karma. This is the last stretch, right? You're almost at the top of the mountain. Some of you guys really like the mountains, like internally and externally. So these are all challenges for you because you know you're going towards, these are the most bipolar cards I've ever seen consecutively. This is your energy. You want the 10 of Pentacles, you want a happy family, you want infinite unconditional love forever. But you're carrying a bunch of burdens because of your commitments. Like, this is, one stick is mom, one stick is dad, one stick is your pupper, and then it's like a bunch of animals and like your girlfriend or your ex-wife or just stupid friends, and you're carrying everybody. But you found a system, right? You found a system how to, what's the word in English? How to make this load less heavy. Like, can you see? He's just holding 2, but the 8 are entwined, right? It's like defying laws of physics almost. However, now that I've separated them into 2 and 8, it's like you want to rush into your path. Like, you felt what your path might look like, but there's this fear of betraying the people that are currently around you. But there's also a bigger fear of, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda, or fear of missing out, or what ifs, you know. And we're not here to live what ifs. We're here to, you know, experience, feel, love, and laugh about it in 5 years, right? Because we had the guts to follow what means peace to us, or what means stability to us, or, you know, what love means to us. And that's different for everybody, but the strongest emotion here is longing for, you know, fun days and happy, even if it's like the worst weather outside, just being able to find beauty in that as well. And when you're with the right person, no moment is bad because you have each other all the time, right? Yeah, this is getting so cute, so I'm just gonna stop here, or I could go on for hours. This will be a pain in the ass to upload. Well, it was, if you're watching this to the end. It was. It will be, it was. But I guess we'll know. I guess we already know. Some of us already know. But yeah, everything is interconnected. So boundaries are definitely necessary for the next steps. So you can assess, evaluate, and clear your path. Because you are the divine masculine. You are the leader. You are the provider. You are the assertive one. You got the whole fam. But you also need somebody who nurtures the parts within you that you can't nurture yourself, or, you know, other things or people cannot nurture. And sometimes, yes, it's hard to do something for ourselves for the first time, but living in regret is something I do not want for myself and my collective. And always take these words to God, to your spirit guides, to your ancestors. Have a talk with yourself, write it down, process it, you know, express it if it needs to set boundaries. And, you know, the more you're true and honest with your heart, the more other you know, upper 3 and lower 3 chakras align with it, because this is the center where we should all come from. So if you feel like you're going to, you know, betray somebody, like the feeling is too strong because your heart is so big, ask yourself, who in reality am I betraying if my heart actually wants something just a little bit different? You know, because I'm getting so much longing energy, it's like, oh, daydreams, night dreams, fantasies, visuals, like it's all there for you, divine masculines, because the energies are so intricately and infinitely connected that sometimes you just need to do a 180, right? So you're not like spinning in circles, doing 360s and spiraling. You just do a, I'm gonna go that way and see what it's like. But of course, don't just fucking walk away if you're in a long-term relationship. Like there's karma to be settled before you start anything new. But I'm just getting like the heart ones with the heart ones, and I don't know if this is right, and I'm just sensing a lot of struggle within the divine masculines field, because it's like these epiphanies and sudden realizations and awakenings and connections, and it's like, you don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I understand that, but there's a big piece of your heart that feels right now that is in 2 places or something like that. I don't know. Put it in the comments how it resonates for you. We're gonna stop here. This is a long one, but heavily needed for somebody or multiple people out there. I would love to hear how this resonates with your stories, and if it's a confirmation or an affirmation, or, you know, it means a lot when I see that people listen with good intention to release fears and to reassess situations. And it also helps me not doubt these things, because sometimes I feel like I'm maybe projecting some things, but it's more like the visuals that I'm getting as a channel are like reminders of the energy, because I know like what's going on in that circle or that couple or that family, and I'm just like, you know, seeing my friends that are all also light workers and, you know, divine masculines and feminines, and it's like it feels to me like I'm projecting, because I don't know what it confirms for you, but I literally saw somebody in this exact situation, and it feels almost too private for me to talk about. But I had to come on here and express, because I took the sunstone as a crystal deva to help me, and the sunstone of course represents the masculine energy, and it's also an important stone to come back into your self-assuredness, right? Whether it's to be self-assured and set a boundary with the third party and, you know, focus on your family at home if you feel like you're going to betray them, and if you're not ready to drop any loads. Not that they're a load to drop, I'm just saying, because I'm looking at the 10 of Wands. I'm just sensing that your energy is in a rush to be happy, like truly, unconditionally, daily, waking up next to the love of your life. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting for the past hour, and I need to stop. So go ahead and make the romantic gesture and reveal your innermost self to others. That's going to be so different for each and every one of you. Could be your, acknowledging certain feelings within, or maybe even speaking up about your changed feelings to a past person, or it just feels like there's a cycle closing out, or it has closed out. And this is just a cleanup session of the higher power that will take you towards, that divine counterpart, which is the deer to your elk, and, the feminine to your masculine, and the sacral to your solar chakra. And for you to be able to drop all these shields and burdens and passions, that the passion feels like it has run out, run dry, and you're just carrying everybody. Like you're carrying 10 people's hearts. Yeah. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. I love you so, so much. Never forget that. I will always love you if you come to my channel with the good intentions of reconnecting with the collective or with yourself and God, because it just makes me so happy. This is truly one of the happiest moments in my life, and it's all I want for you. And I always keep you in my prayers, especially my divine masculines, because when I think of my divine masculine, I think of even more of the collective. It's like we all kind of mirror and project into each other, and this is a time where something has already shifted and we are on the other side. It's like we have entered the new world, and if you're resonating with this message, even if the energies are a bit like, ugh, it's a lot, you are still the most lovable person, because you are the beloved of the divine, and you're always protected from the Antichrist and fears and all those negativities that we've talked about. And if you come to this channel with a good intention, trust and believe that you are protected. I pray daily for my collective. I do mantras, I do special smoke work with my different sages, like homemade stuff, and everything comes from my heart to, help you through me to come into your true alignments, or maybe confirm or, affirm certain thoughts or certain energies that may have been, pushed aside. But I'm just kind of stuck here with you guys. Like, I don't want to leave for some reason. I could just talk to you forever, but I have to go. I'll be back with a divine feminine reading, don't worry. So yeah, you are in my prayers, you are protected, but don't forget to step up your game with being in your heart. That's the most game you can have in this world right now. So welcome to the new timelines. A lot is clearing out. I'm not getting like a coughing fit, but I will like definitely release this demon when I press stop recording. So yeah, good luck, my divine masculines, in releasing demons, releasing karma, coming back into your heart spaces, and understanding that you were always this multicolored dragon with a sonar and the heart of a otter of unconditional love. Like, your eyes already on the prize, and the prize is love. And that's all we need, guys and girls. Whoever's watching this, I love you. Bye.